Good day everybody, Baran back here with the second turn for the Japanese. So the Japanese have 39 IPCs to spend. So with that money they're going to buy 4 infantry, 2 artillery, 2 tanks, and a transport. Now on to the combat movements. Okay, so back here with the combat movements. So first off, I'm going to take the 2 infantry, the mechanized infantry, and the artillery that are in Chahar and move them further east into, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that one. Next is 2 infantry, or 3 infantry, and the artillery from Anhui are going into Hopai, and another 2 infantry and artillery from Anhui are going into Quichao. And next, the major battle for Yunnan. It's going to consist of 2 infantry and an artillery from Yunnan into Yan'an, 2 more infantry from Guangxi, 2 infantry from Guangxi, and a tank from Guangxi. The entire air force that's sitting here in Guangxi, which is 4 tactical bombers, 6 fighters, and 2 strategic bombers will fly in there. So the fighters and the tactical bombers will have 3 movements left, and the strategic bombers will have 5 movements left. As well, the fighter and the tactical bomber from the carrier out here in the Sea Zone 36 will fly for a movement of 2 and join that battle as well, and they will have a movement of 2 left. Alright, that is it for the combat movements. And I'll battleboard this up and we'll play it out. Okay, we're back here with battleboard, and out of the 4 attacks that I declared there, only 1 actually needs to be rolled out because the other 3 are walk-ons. So here's the battle for Yunnan. It's the entire Japanese Air Force pretty much, and some land units versus 14 Chinese infantry and a fighter. So first off, we'll roll the Japanese, and here are all the dice set up for them. Alright, time to count it up. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8. Just double check here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 6, 7, 8. Clean. Pull all these guys out here. And the Chinese dice I got set up here. Lots of 2s for them, and 1 4. And the Chinese return is 1, 2, 3. And that is it, only 3 return hits on the Japanese. So we'll have the Chinese lose 8 infantry. So there's 6, 7, 8 infantry for the Chinese that are gone, and 3 for the Japanese. So 1, 2, 3 infantry are dead for the Japanese. So for another round, we need to take that out for the Japanese. The Japanese still have all these dice ready to go for them. I've taken off the 1 at 1 and 2 greens for the 2 at 2 for the Japanese that they lost. Reset the abacus. And here we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. massive round for the Japanese. Let's double check this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And that's more than enough to take out the remaining Chinese, of which they are 5, 6 infantry and a fighter. And there they go, and it's 1, 2 back on the Japanese. So the Japanese are going to lose an artillery and an infantry. So the Japanese easily took Yunnan there. And I'll just go place everything back on the board and we'll start the non-combat moves. So we're back here, reset up here. I've just moved everything around here a bit. So non-combat moves. A fighter and tactical bomber that originated on the carrier out in Sea Zone 36 with 2 movements left are going to fly back to that aircraft carrier. Land back out here in Sea Zone 36. The 2 strategic bombers and are going to fly back to Guangxi for movement of 1, along with the 6 fighters and 4 tactical bombers, which had 3 movements left, but they're only using 1 of them to get back to Guangxi here. And that is it for that. Next, I'm going to move 1 transport from Sea Zone 36 to Sea Zone 19. 2 transports that are up here in Sea Zone 19 are going to load 2 infantry and 2 artillery from Japan, and 1 on each of them, 1 on each. Sorry about that. And they're going to move with a movement of 3 down to Sea Zone 36, and they're going to offload those troops into Guangxi. There we go. And next, I think that is it for the non-combat moves. Everybody is going to stay where they are. So now for the place new units phase, I'm going to be placing 1 tank, 1 artillery, and 1 infantry into Kwangsung, and the remainder of the units, consisting of 3 infantry, tank, artillery, and transport, will go into Japan. Actually, I'm going to scratch that. I'm going to change that. I'm going to place the tank into Guangxi and the infantry back in Japan. So the placements is 2 tanks and an artillery into Kwangsung, and the 4 infantry artillery are going to Japan, and the transports is going to Sea Zone 6. Alright, that is it for the non-combat moves. Now, so Japan is going to go up 4 for the Chinese territories it has taken, and China is going to go down 4. I'll do up the chart now and I'll get back to you. So, quick recap here. In Siam, we had 2 infantry. In Yunnan, 2 artillery and a tank. In Kwangtung down there, we got 2 infantry, 2 artillery, 2 strategic bombers, 4 tactical bombers, and 6 fighters. Up here in Quichao, it's 3 infantry and an artillery. In Hopi, it's 3 infantry and artillery. In the northern territory up here, we got 2 infantry, artillery, and a mechanized infantry. Over in Kwangsung here, we got 2 tanks and an artillery. Up here in Manchuria, 6 infantries and anti-aircraft gun. 2 fighters and a tactical bomber. Over here in Korea, it's got 4 or 5 infantry and an artillery. In Japan itself, it's got an artillery, 4, 5, 6, 7 infantry and 3 anti-aircraft guns. Iwo Jima has an infantry. The Palau Islands have an infantry, and Caroline Islands have 2 infantry and an artillery. In Sea Zone 33, there's a carrier with a tactical bomber and a fighter on board, a submarine, a battleship, and 2 destroyers. Up here in Sea Zone 6 is a transport, a cruiser, a destroyer, and an aircraft carrier with a tactical bomber and fighter on board. Sea Zone 19 has a transport on board. And down in Sea Zone 33, or is it 36? It is 36, sorry. Has a carrier with a fighter and tactical bomber on board, a battleship, a destroyer, a sub, a cruiser, and 3 transports. Alright, and that is the end of Japan's turn. They are collecting 43 IPCs. They're at 33 on the board for territories, plus 10 for the national objective of not being at war with the United States. Alright, on to the USA.